This is something that the bureaucrats don't want to hear. If you constantly make the same mistake 30 years, and now we're in the year 2024, they will always say it to convince themselves, "Oh, you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain." Okay, the reality of it is, the ones who create the corruption have no right to complain because they were the ones and are the ones who created the problem with their own stupidity. Now here, these are the ones who are constantly. We're going to use a couple of good. We're going to use a couple of good a couple of politicians for a good example. The blacks. Now we're going to go in chronological order, in historical order. 1989 to 1995. Reagan was in office. He was voted in not because of qualifications, he was voted in because of popular vote. Bush Sr. was voted in because the idiots thought that he was going to lower taxes, and he made himself sound convincing. We're not going to higher taxes, we're going to lower them. The idea of being in office is not to higher taxes, but to lower them. He didn't lower them, he created the high taxes. Bill Clinton came in office, and he raised them. Why? Because they all found out in the year 2000, New York here had a debt. And he also swore up and down he'd lower taxes. While getting lollipop time, like my mother says, from Monica Lewinsky. So now, he raised them because he loved the money. Bush Jr. went into office. Nepotism. Bush Jr. came into office, nodded his head, acting like the prim and promised sainthood. He swore he'd lower taxes, but raised them. And guess what he did? In the year 2000, 2001, he aided the terrorists in creating murder. Now, this was the thing that Alex Jones of Infowars.com brought out in the open, and unmasked in the year 2007, 2009. Bush Jr. went into office and created a 3,000 person murder plot, which you'll nod his head and laugh at everyone with and act like the fake sainthood. He created the fake sainthood so he could convince the idiots to vote for him. Now, you've got the fake sainthood going. He created high taxes to pay for the $97 billion insurance policy on the Twin Towers, and paid out about $9 million for people who he murdered. But of course, he'll sit there and laugh at it and act like he didn't know about it. He got a second term illegally by committing voter fraud by going down to Mexico. Broad daylight. And after that, year 2007, Obama came in. The black vote, which is what they gained. That's voter fraud. That's stupidity. Okay, we're going on 17 years worth of stupidity in the year 2007. He got his second illegal term while the asshole voters did not question his legitimacy because the race card was being thrown all over the place. We have to make history. We have to make history. We have to make history. We have to get the first black president. We have to make history. We have to make history. They continuously said this line of shit for a year. Now it takes bureaucratic idiots, okay? Bureaucratic idiots who claimed that you don't have the right to vote if you don't have the right if you don't have the right to complain if you don't let me do that again. You don't have these are the ones who claimed that you don't have a right to complain if you don't vote. Meantime, all this shit was based on making history. It had nothing to do with creating progress. So therefore, the idiots and the liberals and the blacks blame us outsiders for not voting because they were the one who had the majority of the vote based on bureaucracy. After Obama went in for 8 years, based on bureaucracy, not logic, Donald came in. The progressive. He came in, he progressed a lot of things, aided in the economy, aided in building the economy in New York without even having to be in office. The difference between Donald and the four assholes who went in, they created a deficit, doubled it, and based their office on psychological warfare, not progression. What does this have to do with all these current debates going on in the past history? And Democracy 24 has a lot to do with the current elections, if you could even call them that. Vivek resigned because he, quote, couldn't afford it, which I know he's an actor here. Haley resigns. No, I'm sorry, Haley didn't resign yet, or did she? We don't even know. DeSantis resigns. Meantime, he most probably laundered the $9 million that he got from all of his followers. Vivek got $9 million out of the laundering money. Haley's in the process of laundering money. Chris Christie faked his resignation but really resigned because now he's saying, we have to do this and we have to do that. He got his $9 million worth of laundered money. All the other politicians got their money laundered. Larry Elder laundered money through $9 million for his campaign, which he'll sit there and laugh at everyone with, claiming that they're over-exaggerating. And of course, all the other politicians who are laundering money through the election, claiming that they want to go for office, they create this stupid facade. Oh, let's go for office. We have to create progress. Meantime, they resign smiling, but yet they get the Academy Award-winning performance. I'm resigning because I can't get the money to create our future. Yeah, okay. All this psychological warfare in the name of money laundering. Going on to part 2.